All right. Sunny, Belligerent Brown Boys, Champ, Jag. Before we get into this episode, we want to thank everybody for getting us to 100 subscribers this year. It was a goal of ours. We got it. Thank you so much. And like we said, we were going to do something special for you guys. But you got to stick around till the end of the episode to see what that is. And believe me, you're going to want to know. Again, thank you for 100 subscribers. And we'll catch you at the end of the episode. We'll have something special for you guys.
There'll be no more distractions. Today was an unusual day. There'll be no more distractions. Today was an unusual day. There'll be no more distractions. Today was an unusual day.
It's the holiday season, ladies and gentlemen.
And we're back. We're back for one final episode for 2024.
We're back, and we got a special guest. Jag's back.
It's been a while, you know.
His long-awaited return.
Yeah, it's CM Punk levels of return with this guy. All goods, man. It's that time of the year, boys. It's the holiday season. Christmas right around the corner. New Year's right after that. It's the end of the year.
Yeah, we got some reviews to do.
Yeah.
Some categories to choose from.
Yeah, so let's get ready to say piss off to 2024.
I'm
let's
ready.
get ready for 2025.
Bring it.
And before we do that, shout outs to Cyril from Hope Club and Francis from Top Prospect who had us out at the shop for the last episode. That was super fun.
Yeah, big shout out.
Great.
We had a really good time out there.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. And it just reiterates how much fun it is to just open cards and just have fun.
Yeah.
It was great. But again, that's something maybe 2025 we'll do something for you guys. Belligerent breaks, kind of.
Belligerent breaks. Let's do it.
Belligerent breaks might
Let's
be.
get this going.
Yeah, I still have a Yu-Gi-Oh box that I've been wanting to open. This
Yeah, I got a
year.
couple boxes laying around too. I'm sure we
Yeah.
could come together and maybe just do an episode of breaks.
Sealed product.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sealed products.
Sealed product. That's the magic words that people want to hear these days. Sealed product. But all right, 2024. This friggin' year, you know, we were kind of talking a little bit earlier. Started off with a bang with our boy Cat.
Yeah,
Doing
Cat
his
Williams,
thing.
man.
Yeah.
He dropped the hammer right in January.
He set the tone, which was great because it's been a weird, wild one, and it feels like it's getting wilder and wilder. But that's just more fun for us because we get to
Yeah.
talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to do our year in review. We're going to give our takes on what we took away from the year. I think let's start with your favorite show/movie.
Well, let's get right into it. I'm a big movie guy, but it's been hell for Hollywood for the past few years. They went broke by going woke. So, you know, I have really lost interest in a lot of films. They're almost unwatchable, to be honest. Before I give my pick, it's going to be a TV show because literally every movie sucked probably since last year's Oppenheimer. Like, why did we have to make Gladiator 2?
Because
Like, enough of that, Hollywood. Just stop it. Please stop it. Let things that are just done well the first time, just let them die and rest in peace. I'm going to go with Penguin. It's probably not a big surprise. You know, it just hit the nail on the head with just what they wanted to create. Gotham, the Penguin character. It was gritty. You know, just really brought the dark side of Gotham out. Really fleshed out their kind of that universe without ever needing Batman. I know there's, you know, obviously spoiler if you haven't watched it now, spoiler alert. There's a nice little tease at the end, but yeah, for me it was a 9. I'd give it almost a 10 out of 10, but I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10.
that was my pick. I didn't even think about anything else after watching
Yeah.
Penguin. The entire year just got erased for me, and that's the only thing I'm going to remember from this.
I figured. I'm probably sure a lot of you guys out there, that's going to be your pick.
Because with it taking place right after the movie, fair, he hasn't seen it yet, so I'm not going to say too much.
No, you
right?
can spoil it a little bit.
But and whatever, like, you know, try to contain myself a little bit here. But after, you know, it taking place right after the movie, and if you guys remember what I said about the movie when we watched it, was the movie did a really great job of showing that the actual real villain of Batman is Gotham,
Yeah.
right? And this show just took that and just even built on it and made it better.
Man, yeah, you're so right about that. That's such a
And-
great take.
And it just shows you when you character develop and you make people give a shit about the characters that you're watching and listening to, you don't need fan service,
Yeah, you don't.
right?
Yep.
Because you're watching this, like, there were certain points where I forgot I was watching a DC show,
Yeah.
right? Because it was very Soprano-esque,
Yeah.
right? And I was just
that's a
like,
good
man,
comparison.
this, as a crime show, this thing was awesome, bro.
And I feel like they directly took that from the Batman film, which it was more like his detective side and it was a crime, film. And they just brought that right into the show.
100%. Because that movie, it showed him, like you said, as a detective, which Batman is.
Exactly.
He's
And
a-
I don't think
he's a
any
detective.
film has ever done that before. So they just did it so well.
Yeah. And this is the hill I'm going to die on. The Batman is the best comic book movie ever, in my opinion.
Wow.
It is. People are going to be like, Dark Knight, bro. Look, Dark Knight was great. I'm not trashing the Dark Knight. That whole trilogy was fine.
Yeah, that of course.
Right?
That trilogy is,
But if we're talking about something that's true to source material and you're ripping it right off the pages and throwing it on the screen, the Batman did that.
Yeah, right when we were done watching that movie, I'm like, this is the best. Like, this was the greatest.
I remember
For
the
me, it
feeling
was, like,
after the
greatest-
film.
I think it was their greatest film. Even like, you know how like for Marvel they have their best, DC they have their best.
Yeah.
For me,
For DC, I'll definitely agree
yeah,
with
for
you
DC
guys. Yeah.
that was my favorite.
Yeah, I think personally, Man of Steel has a special place in my heart. But aside from Man of Steel, I do think I agree with you guys that this, at least from DC's perspective, this is the best film they've made.
Yeah, it was just from the second that music started in that intro scene.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that
No,
movie,
it started
and he walks
perfect. It was
out.
the
Yeah.
perfect movie.
And then that vibe just carries over into the Penguin.
And that includes Joker, right? I guess they killed it with Joker too. It's hard to look back at that film,
Friggin' Joker too, man. That
right?
thing
They
was-
buried, it left us bad
See,
taste
the
in our
reviews were
mouth.
so bad on that. I don't even want to. I can't even bring myself to watch that movie.
I watched it in about 45 minutes because I just
just
had
skipped
to
through it?
skip through it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I think me and Champ, we touched on it on the last
a
last
few
episode,
episodes ago. Yeah.
where it was just unnecessary.
Yeah.
That story did not need to be told, and what they did with it was kind of like,
And I'll be honest, it's not necessarily I had an issue with it. Like most people, I guess, were saying that it's because, why'd you make it a musical? Even if it wasn't a musical, like you said, that didn't need to happen. What story are you trying to tell?
Yeah.
Just how do you go from the first one to that? It did not need to happen.
didn't need to happen. Jag, go.
For me, it's always the same, but it's the boys.
The boys.
You know what? This was probably their slowest season, but the way that they're setting up, like now the next season, and now we know that's going to be the final season, and the suspense of going into every episode not knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think that's the only show that really does it for me. Any other show, it's like, this character can't die, or he's the protagonist, right?
I think that's the best way to describe The Boys, like what you just said. I think that's what makes it so great to watch, is you truly have no idea what's going to happen, which character is going to live, and who's going to survive to the next episode.
Yeah, it does what the first 6 seasons of Game of Thrones did.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, like Game
Yeah.
of Thrones did that really well, and The Boys is doing that really well too. But to your point, I think this was the weakest of all the seasons so far.
it was.
But it was still enough where it's like, I know where they're headed, and I can't wait to freaking.
That's
see
the
it
thing. The
happen, right?
suspense
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
feel like it was more of a bridge season. That's why I didn't have it in my top 3, just because I just thought it was a bridge season. So the good stuff is what we're waiting for, and I guess I didn't even know it was going to be the last season.
No,
so.
that's the thing. Since it was season 4, we knew going in like, okay, season 5 is going to be the last season, so we knew it's going to be a little. They're going to have to build up on it.
They're building it.
But now we know that since season 5 is the last season, now truly anything can happen because that's it. It's over,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and
But this is the hard part, right? Like, this is where a lot of like, storytellers go away from the source material and they choose to end it in their own artistic way. And we've seen this blow up in many people's faces, Game of Thrones. So we can just hope for the best.
that game, Game of Thrones, I'm never gonna let that go.
No, I don't think anybody in our generation is
Yeah.
going to let that down.
I can't. Like, I thought I'd get over it eventually, but I just can't. Because like you see all these great shows, and you're like, why couldn't they just handle it properly?
So for someone, if someone's out there that has not watched Game of Thrones, would you recommend watching it knowing that the ending was so bad? Like, is it worth watching if you
that's
know?
Yo, the first 5 seasons, I'd say hundo watch.
I think
That
the
was
first
yeah.
5 seasons are some of the best written television you can watch.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
from acting to the writing to just everything, just from take it from episode 1 to the last episode of season 5. It's amazing.
Yeah, that show had the whole world in a headlock.
What I would recommend is after
It did at
season
that time,
5,
yeah.
you just switch right to the books. Like, you end it the way you want to end it.
Yeah.
Because season 6 and 7 they're really bad.
Yeah.
And for someone who's read the books, where they've diverted, and certain characters are alive, certain characters are not, some are actually just cut out, and we had no issue with that up to season 5. It's just then the show becomes too big. I'll just be honest, when a show gets too big, everybody and their mom is watching it. The fans start pushing pressure on writers, not taking away all the fault from the writers. They screwed up, but like, we didn't need a love story to end it.
Yeah. That's why I feel like there's a bit of a shift happening now with all these studios and all these producers and stuff saying, we did something, it didn't work, nobody liked it, didn't take.
Yeah.
We're going back to what made everything great. So I'm hopeful moving forward. That's why The Penguin was such a breath of fresh air, right?
Mhm.
Where I didn't feel like this about a show since maybe the first season of The Boys, right? Where I'm like, this show does not give a shit
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
anything. It doesn't care what you think.
Exactly.
It doesn't care
Yeah.
what you're going to say about it. It's just going to do its thing, and I'm all for it. And that's why I don't know if they've renewed, if there is going to be another season or not, but if they do, you'll know it's going to be untouched. It's going to be the way it
that's
is.
interesting, right? Like, that's the first thing my wife had asked too. Like, oh, is there going to be a season 2? It's like, I don't know if I want a season 2,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yep.
that's the thing. Like, just to build that character of Penguin, where they left off, like, you don't need another season. There's going to be Batman 2. You see where Batman 2 goes in the story,
Yeah.
right? Maybe you do a show after that. You do a show of something else in Gotham, right? I think like when you create something, like, I think we get so attached. Like, I don't know when. I guess maybe it's a product of Marvel, right? Like, everything needs a second, third, fourth, fifth. See, like, just you leave it at one. You told a great story. You don't need to continue that.
Yeah.
Maybe continue bits and pieces of that in your film.
No, that's a great point, because by the end of the season, would you guys say that if do you know enough about the Penguin, the character, now that you don't need to see more?
So,
Like, if he just appeared in Batman movies now, or in a Batman show that you watch, you would know who Penguin is?
so the thing with what they did with Penguin in this show is just when you think you have him figured out, you're wrong.
You're wrong. Yeah,
Okay.
You're wrong. And I think
that was the greatest thing that they did on the show.
Colin Farrell said that he's got like 6 scenes in the next Batman movie. So he's in it, but he's not
in it. Yeah,
But he's not like a big player in the movie though.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is fine.
That's what I'm saying, which is fine. You sprinkle these characters in because you did a great job building their character in the show, right?
Yep.
Like now you can take that time away in the film to focus on other characters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, we're talking about, this great show 2024, but there was a couple of train wrecks this year too. Rings of Power again. Like I tried to really want to be okay with it.
I think you have a worse take than I do. I think you found it worse than I did.
I wasn't as annoyed as I was with the first season.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna
Right.
say. So maybe like it made, because the first one was so bad that it made this one a lot better compared to comparatively. So I guess I enjoyed it because I hated the first one so much.
Yeah, that's fine. And then The Acolyte, my God.
Wow.
Star Wars is that.
Yeah,
that
Star Wars.
franchise is
Let's just say
dead.
it. It's dead.
It's dead.
It's flatlined.
There's no saving this franchise.
Yeah, Disney, you have killed everything Star Wars. Like literally.
I'll say one thing. Skeleton Crew.
I've been hearing.
Okay, it's tolerable.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
I've been
It's
hearing
alright.
it. I've been hearing
But
that.
it's not enough. They've ran this thing into the ground,
They have.
and they think the only way to fix it is just to keep announcing things.
Yeah, announcing like all these projects. Like let's announce 20 projects, get everyone hyped up. Maybe like 2 will come to fruition. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's insane, man. Like The Acolyte was just so bad.
I can't believe you made it
So
through it, because
bad.
be honest, I didn't even make it through.
When
Like,
you watch 4 episodes of a TV show and you know there's only like 8 or 9, at that point you're gonna see it through. Like, what's the point of you?
I watched
wasting your
2,
time
I
watching that,
could
right?
not see it through. That's how this Star Wars is literally just dead and buried for me now. Like it's gonna take a lot for me to ever, For me, the pinnacle of Star Wars was Clone Wars, the animated series, and that's it. And after that, everything's just been downhill.
Yeah. Was Ahsoka this year?
Yeah, was it? Or was that
Or
last year?
Because Ahsoka was okay.
I think that was last year.
So
yeah,
Ahsoka was last year. Sorry.
yeah, I
Yes.
think I had it in my top 5 last year for a TV show.
You're right. Ahsoka
Yeah.
was last year. This year was The Acolyte. Oh my God. So bad. And then they have the audacity to say that it was because of the fans the show didn't do well and it got canceled. Come on.
Yeah, I'm blaming the fans.
You're blaming
Let's just
the fans.
say I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. The women leading that film, like you guys just destroyed your own, or that show, you guys destroyed your own TV show, man. All the bullshit that these interviews and all this stuff that they talked about defending it, I think that just pushed viewers more and more away.
Yeah,
You
it
can't
was-
force this woke stuff. Like people are not, we'll get into this later, obviously with politics. You can see with Trump's victory, like people don't want that.
I think it's the writing was on the wall for that stuff for a while. Especially like I think again we talked about on the last episode where like Marvel admitted it.
Yeah.
They're like we made a mistake.
Yep.
And Deadpool was their way of basically.
Well, let's see, because I think their other way to trying to bring everyone back is now. I know you've heard rumors of Chris Evans coming back as well,
He's back,
right?
Yeah.
Like we can't just bring the entire crew of the old Avengers back. What's the point of building all these other people then?
Yeah, I think we'll save that rant for 2025.
I was actually gonna get into the Marvel thing. I'm like, what are they doing now?
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah,
where
you're
are
right.
they? I'm so lost.
We can save that for 2025.
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms. What's going on over there? But before we move on to the next category, Superman trailer dropped today.
Boom!
Yes,
Dropped this morning. I saw that tease last night.
I was refreshing my ass off for the YouTube this morning at work, waiting for this thing, and I'm excited.
I am, for a guy who loved the Man of Steel. I know I'm in the minority. I actually loved it as well. I knew nothing going in except James Gunn is behind the project. He's taken over DC. He's going to be running basically shotgun on all the coming up projects. And I had an open mind. And from what I saw, they gave nothing away. I honestly wish this is how trailers continued to be. Just teasers. Like, I don't need to see the entire film in your 2.5 minute trailer. Like, for God's sakes, please stop showing it in your entire film. create a trailer where there's intrigue. You want to know what's going on without actually seeing the entire film in your 2 minutes.
Yeah, you don't need that.
There will be more trailers though.
I hear you, but this
Wow.
teaser did a great job of just showing you Superman. He looks like Clark Kent. Like I thought he looked great. They have the old, they got the old like 60s, 70s type kind of, suit.
He had like big time Chris Reeves vibes. When
Yes,
he was like,
yeah,
when
he
was,
did
like,
have the
Clark
Chris
Kent.
Reeves vibes.
Yeah. And
And that opening shot with him in the snow and
where he's just beat up.
where
wait,
and you
yeah.
have no idea how that happens.
That was great.
Like that was a great opening shot.
For me, the only concern I have, I'm excited. I want to watch it. 100% I'll watch it. But my only no, actually, it's not a concern. It's more of, are they going to be getting straight into, like, every Superman or any first film, they'll
It's
go
always
into like
like
the
an origin story. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
right?
happening.
Are they just gonna get straight into it?
I
Like
think-
we know who he is.
Yeah.
Just
From the
he's
trailer, it
Superman.
looks to me
like he's Superman to the
he's
world.
been Superman
doing
for
his
a
thing.
while.
Yeah.
He's been Superman to the world. Like he's been existing in this universe. And as you can tell with all the other, superheroes and villains in the film, he's not alone. So, with Crypto being in there,
And
I
then,
wish they had teased crypto a little
see,
bit
right?
more.
That's
Yeah.
the other question. Is
but
like,
I think they did that because I don't know if people have seen this. I know people are going to be looking up the trailer and finding out all about Superman in the next couple of days. But this was a last minute addition that James Gunn did because it's based on, he actually adopted a dog.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, he has this story. I think he put on Instagram or he put it up online and he tells the story. So it's like a last minute thing. That's why he added Crypto to the story. And I honestly think it's probably just a few scenes.
then my other question is there going to be some form of Justice League in there?
No. I
Hey.
really hope not. Hey.
We saw Green Lantern in
We
there.
saw Green Lantern.
The
We
minute I
saw
saw Green
Hawk
Lantern,
Girl.
I was
That-
jacked.
That wasn't Hal though.
It wasn't.
wasn't.
That's
It
what
wasn't.
I'm saying. Are we
Yeah.
gonna have some version of the Justice League? But
Maybe that's what they're gonna build. Like I don't know. Like I don't know what their long term plan is. But
I think from what I got from the trailer was all those scenes with all those other superheroes. I think they just might be mini flashbacks of something that happened before,
that's interesting.
which have led people to hate on Superman. Because you see that one scene where he's walking
throwing
and they're throwing
stuff
trash,
at
throwing
and
trash
stuff.
at him. Yeah.
So I think all that is probably something that happened before. We get that 5 or 6 minute scene with everybody kind of doing their thing.
Now that you
and then it
mentioned
goes-
that,
yeah.
I did have that scene where people are there, everyone's throwing trash at him, and then he's walking into like the courtroom or something.
And it looks
right?
like there's like a coffin or something.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I had a similar vibe to honestly Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Mm.
So it was interesting that they chose James Gunn chose to do that. But again, I have no idea what the story is gonna be. From just the looks of it,
I'm
it
excited though.
looks exciting.
That was a great trailer.
Yeah, the
liked
teaser was done great. You teased a couple characters. Lex Luthor honestly looks great. I
Yeah, why are they calling it Luth Corp though?
Yeah.
That was kind of weird.
yeah.
I thought I was like having dyslexia or something. What the hell is Luth Corp?
Knowing James Gunn, like the goofy things he likes to do, I'm gonna be open to that. Just like Guardians 1, right? Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of goofy stuff in there, but he makes it work. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that was great. A couple of great trailers came out. This one and 28 years later
Yeah,
last week. That was
28. Yeah, that's another one that knew how to do a trailer.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one after too. That's great. 28 years later, great. If you guys haven't seen the first two movies, go please
Go
watch
check those out.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely check those out.
Those are awesome. All right, excuse me. Let's get right into a really big meaty one. Let's talk about your top news story of the year.
Let me start this one.
Oh yeah, this
Oh,
one.
Jack came
No,
ready.
No. Because you know how we were talking about, okay, Cat Williams started it all. We have the whole, P. Diddy thing, the Jay-Z's getting caught in it, and a lot of things have happened. But there's always one thing that gets me, and the election, all the news cycle, the election, it gets me. Like a couple of years ago, the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp
Johnny
thing.
Depp trial.
It
Yeah.
gets me. I need to watch every second of it, right? And like, not only am I watching the trial, I'm watching people review the trial. It's a whole cycle, right? You get into. And now this year, it was the election, the whole Trump making rounds, and then people reviewing the rounds he's making. Same thing with the, Kamala, right? Same thing. And it's just, there's no specific story. And now I'm in that whole news cycle of, what's that show with Sunny and Whoopi?
The View.
Oh, The
The
View.
View.
Oh,
Oh my
God, that trash TV.
God,
They
I'm-
must be the biggest morons on TV.
And they're,
every
paid
day
like
they're
they're
still
not.
whining about it. They have not got over it.
I think that's the majority of the left. We can say that. If you go online, you see the left. They've already abandoned Twitter or X
Yeah.
and gone over to Blue Sky.
Yeah.
I think like this election is movie worthy. Like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial is movie worthy, or a Netflix series.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a
This
film
is
on this.
definitely-
Yeah, down the road.
It was, I think the way that it played out was just so like outrageous, because people had thought this thing was going to be neck and neck down to the wire, but it was over in
Yeah.
an hour and a half.
I
He
think
bulldozed Kamala so bad.
most of us, at least, like, people will say on the right, but even independents, like most of us, like, we knew Trump would win in a landslide. Like, I've been to the States a few times. You talk to people. You guys had a great story when you guys
Dude,
went golfing.
Yeah, when we went golfing
right?
in Arizona. Like,
Yeah, in
it's-
Arizona. When you guys meet people, when you talk to people, I'm voting for Trump. Trump, Trump, Trump. That's all you heard. That's
Dude,
all you heard.
Yeah, it was Trump flags
And then-
everywhere.
Yeah.
Again, we know how mainstream media works. It's close, it's close, it's close, it's close. And now look, people got receipts, man.
That's
People got
the-
receipts. You're living in the internet age.
Yeah,
And-
who's that? The Rogan called out some lady too, where she's like she was like some political analyst or something on TikTok, and then she's like, "Oh, my data and my polls show that." it's gonna
Yeah,
be
there
like
was
this
so
and
many
that."
of them. There's
And
so
then-
many.
And then the next day, she's like, "Well,
Yeah, like this is all,
I was wrong.
this is all part of an agenda, Then look, a lot got exposed. I think my takeaway, kind of just segueing from Jags, like the election. Yeah, P. Diddy, big story. We'll see what comes of that. I feel like that's incomplete. People, Hollywood having parties, doing,
Yo, there's
this
a
kind
lot
of
there.
shady shit. Like, that's been in the news for 20, 30 years. Just nobody's want to talk about it. And I feel like this P. Diddy thing, we'll see what happens, just like Epstein. Yeah, we can say Epstein's such a huge story, but we don't know any names. No list has come out. And I feel like this is the same thing here. And I think truly the election was the biggest story. And I just think there's so many layers to it. And the biggest thing that happened, I think, this year was, and COVID was a big precursor to this. So many people are now aware of mainstream media just being propaganda and lies, that 90% of their ratings are down. Nobody's watching it.
Well,
And I think
you didn't believe the rescue story that CNN told the other day?
the fake story.
Did you see that?
No. What was it?
Also,
Fill 'em in.
I forgot the reporter's name, but she was on the ground in Syria,
Hmm.
right? And apparently they went in and rescued some prisoner that was like
Oh, I
locked
was
up for like a
seeing
month
that.
or something.
I
and
saw that earlier today.
the guy ends up being like some
he was like one of his men that
Yeah,
tortured
he was a
people,
poor
right?
guy. He
Yeah.
was basically a guy who tortured people.
and then people are like, if this guy's been locked in a dark room for 4 weeks, and the first thing he does is look up at the sun, like, come on, give me a break. Right?
It's
Oh, man.
crazy to me that they still try. Like, people's lies are literally posted all over the internet. Like, you can just pull receipts now. It's not something where, 30, 40, 50 years ago, when JFK happened, like, you can get away with these things and nobody's bats an eye.
Yeah.
No, but
Right?
people are too lazy to actually look into something. So when the media says something, they just take it at face value.
No,
They're
that's
not gonna
facts.
go fact
That's
check.
facts. But
And if someone else is fact checking them, they're just gonna be like, "No, you're wrong."
no, I
right?
agree with you,
They're
but
gonna
that's
believe their source, the
that's
source they want to
what
believe.
that's where I'm saying that I think that's been the biggest breakthrough because of the election. I think the biggest story for me this year was that mainstream media is just grasping for air and is almost dead. And I
Yeah.
never thought that was gonna happen in my lifetime.
Even like the night of the election, when they were doing like live viewer numbers, PBD was destroying everybody.
All the online. So I think
Yeah.
the YouTube is basically the new TV. It's your next television, right?
He
That's
had
where
more viewers than ABC, than CNN, MSNBC.
all your
Fox.
networks
He
are
had
going to
more
move to
than everybody.
YouTube. It's YouTube, online platforms, Rumble, Twitch, whatever it is. That's where people are viewing now. Like nobody's watching TV. Nobody's watching these networks are basically kept alive by, these big back corporations.
And it's the older generation that still watches it.
It's only the
as
boomers.
time
Yeah.
goes on, it's gonna fade
that's a
away
great point.
eventually.
Like their demos from like 19 to 40, 49 are like record lows. Right? You got like 30,000, 20,000 people watching. It's crazy.
Yeah, their ratings are in the dirt, just like the NBA. Oh, we're not gonna talk about the NBA.
Oh, I want to get into them.
Oh, we got to save that, guys. Yeah, we're going to come back in January. Well, you know what? Let's save that for when NFL is trying to hitting the playoffs.
Yeah, win NFL where we'll do
Yeah.
our picks. And
Yeah.
We're going to save that.
We'll get into why NBA is
The NBA is just burning.
But yeah, just agreeing with you guys. I feel the U.S. election was the biggest story of the year. But I think elections in general throughout this year, because this was
Yeah, it was
the
record setting.
most elections ever.
Yeah.
Um,
Around the
in-
world.
in a year, right?
Yeah.
And the effect that the U.S. election even had on us here, because look what happened this week with us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like
and
with-
now Trudeau.
Like this
We don't
guy's
know
just
what's gonna
hanging
happen
on
now.
by a
Yeah.
thread.
This guy's
Freeland's
destroyed this
gone.
country.
Like, it's
And that's just me being nice.
yeah. I mean, we poke fun, we joke about it.
Yeah.
Screw Trudeau, and this guy like thanks Trudeau and all this kind of stuff. No problem. What was that? Well, anyway, but now we're seeing like the house of cards is coming down.
Yeah.
Right, like it's just falling apart around them, and it's happening
Yeah.
so quickly.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if people here in Canada, like we had actual time to process what's happening, because this is a big deal.
You'd be surprised. Most people don't even know, man. I'm telling you, like most people, it's crazy how the media, like we were just talking about the US media and the mainstream media, but like CBC still has a huge control. The laws that we put in place, like if you jump on YouTube, like, we get basically filtered news. You got to dig, like if you're not on Twitter or X, you're not finding out a lot. Like what's happened in this past week is crazy.
But-
And you would think that's all people would be talking about.
Yeah,
But that's the thing. It's like with Canadian politics, everyone makes fun of us. And one of the reasons is even me, like if you're watching, like the parliament, like both sides going at each other, right? It's like they're kids in a playground just throwing insults at each other. Nothing is actually discussed,
yeah.
right? So I'm just like, this is...
Should we become the
The 51st state.
51st state?
I don't mind Governor Trudeau. he's got to make that call. That's right.
He's going to have to step down because it's getting nuts. He's getting, stuff thrown at him. Like apparently people are like, he had to run to the US. There's some article like, he's on the run. He hasn't even said anything or like,
It's not.
He's
it's not
supposed
good.
to address the media soon. Like,
No, he canceled everything.
He
till the end
canceled
of the-
literally
he
everything.
canceled everything until the end of the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so he's not doing any interviews, any media, nothing. This guy's gonna be hiding in the shadows.
Yeah.
And Jagmeet, man, if you're listening to us right now, if you're out there, just stop being a
Why-
puppet, man.
yeah.
Just do it
Please.
already. Like
I don't
please.
understand why you have to align yourself with this guy. And I'm not even going to start on this guy. But if you're listening, like you need to recreate your entire image. Like, please.
Yeah, it's
Just
not
vote
good.
no confidence and you get all your reputation back.
I think the second that they decided that they didn't want to table that economic report the day that Freeland stepped down
Mm-hmm.
was just showing that there's just no confidence in anything.
Yeah.
Like, why are you shuffling your cabinet? You don't have a cabinet left to shuffle.
Yeah.
Everyone's leaving. All your MPs want you to step down. Right?
This guy's just holding on to power as long as he can. Like everybody sees it. Like, this is kind of similar to just, if you're aware, if you know what's going on, if you kind of get the pulse of the people, of the city, of the country, you can tell. Like, just like the US, Trump was going to win. You can tell nobody wants Trudeau. Everybody wants him to step down. Just a matter of time.
Yeah, people are fed up, man. And you saw it with Trump just like absolutely bulldozed. But at the same time, it's not like the Democrats did anything to help themselves either. They just made it worse day after day after day. They were doing the wrong thing, saying the wrong things, basically just holding concerts.
They were just
week in,
focused
week
on the
out.
wrong message.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild, man. We're gonna see what happens because like if up here in Canada we might have an election real soon.
Yeah,
It might be coming in the spring. Who knows?
I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen in the spring.
Right? And I'm more than happy to see my tax dollars going to an election right away because we need to see something happen up here, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think he's stepping down, so I think it's gonna be a forced election.
Yeah, and this guy, and man, like the seats that these liberals keep losing in all these like local by-elections is stunning. Like they're getting their asses
Guys,
kicked.
crime is up ridiculously. Like you can just tell, like this is not the same streets you grew up in. Things have changed so much. It's just getting worse, like so rapidly, and people are finally just kind of waking up and getting fed up.
Yeah. For those of you who are here in the GTA, or you know what, I think just wherever you are, you can go on Peel Region's website, Peel Police's website, and check out the interactive map of like where all crimes were reported.
Yeah, that's been going viral the last couple days. I
Dude,
saw that.
You can't see anything. It's just crime.
Crime, and
Wow.
it's serious crime. This is
Yeah.
not just like petty crime. This is serious crime.
Yeah.
Like break and enters are like all over the map, record highs.
breaking enters, car theft. Like
Yeah.
it's like when you load
crazy.
the map up, you don't even see where the towns and the cities are. All you
Yeah.
just see is just like these markers showing this is where a crime
Yeah.
was reported. It's out of this world, man. We become Gotham.
Yeah, it feels like that.
Yeah,
It
like-
definitely feels like
Like
that.
Toronto, Brampton, Mississauga, Woodbridge,
Yeah.
York. Like like we're Gotham. There was a point in time here where you could have left your door unlocked, your front door, and you wouldn't have even thought twice about it.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I think
But now-
most people in our generation would say when they were younger, like the door was unlocked.
Door was always
open,
open.
yeah,
Like
open.
you come back from playing hockey at like
Yeah.
7:30. You don't even need a
Yeah,
key.
yeah.
Like the door's open.
Or
can
you
go.
had that front door, like the glass door, closed, but your front door was open.
Yeah,
All right, like you had the window up on that glass door, and nobody batted an eye.
but now you need bloody Fort Knox at the front of
You
your
need
house.
10 cameras.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that doesn't even do anything.
Cameras does
you-
nothing.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
watch people just come breaking into
It's
your
basically
car.
just videos of people
Yeah.
committing crimes and nothing.
Yeah, you're gonna
happening.
come. Yeah, I got the video. Sure. Yeah, here.
Yeah, it doesn't go
Do
anywhere.
what you want with it. Whatever, man. But they did. What was it? I forgot. Man, I'm losing it. But somebody actually came out today and they said they have to reform like the bail system that we have here. Bail's a joke. I don't even
Yeah.
understand why bail's even a thing.
Why it's yeah.
Yeah.
If
You
you're
commit
gonna
a crime and you're out the next
I
day.
actually don't
Yeah.
think bail should exist. I know it's controversial, but like maybe there's a better way. I'm not saying something shouldn't exist. I don't agree with bail just because it's more just like you have the money, the rich can get out, right? Someone who's poor won't be able to pay bail. Like,
or if you want to keep bail, just
Right.
set it to like dumb amounts.
but then
Yeah.
that's what the problem you have. But if a millionaire commits a crime, it's nothing. They get
No,
out.
but if a
right?
punk ass 19-year-old is gonna steal a car and his bill is posted at $200 million, he's not going anywhere.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Why not just increase the penalty of the actual crime, right?
Oh, fair. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of have a bail system, right? I'm just saying, I'm sure there's a better way to do it. In Canada, look, laws are laxed. That's it's a fact.
Get rid of Young Offenders Act, dude. I think stupid.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. If you're 100% guilty, then there should be zero bail. Right? If there's a 50-50, there's not enough evidence or there's a trial, then I can see more bail depending on the situation, but yeah, like if they know you stole a car, okay, you're not coming out.
Yeah.
There's got to be hefty penalties.
That's the problem. There's no consequences.
There's
And
no
that's
consequences,
why it just keeps happening, and that's why that map looks like the way it does.
Yeah.
Jeez, man. Yeah, go check out that interactive map on Peel's website, man. That is crazy stuff.
Surprised they posted it.
I mean, that's always been a thing, though.
Yeah?
But like but now it's because it's happening so much. It's just absurd to look at.
Yeah.
Because I used to go on Toronto Police's one and just to kind of see what's going on in the neighborhood, right? You never used to see anything before.
Yeah.
You saw a couple of things. Oh, a guy got beat up here.
Not
or
the way it is
whatever.
now.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
now it's like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
it's happening all over the place. Jeez.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go into top sports moment.
Top
Year.
sports moments. Top sports moments.
For me, it was John Jones' return.
Ooh, yeah.
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 I feel like it was just waited so long. It went through the period of was so hyped, and then it started getting delayed, and I went into a phase of like,
You didn't
okay,
think
I
it
don't
was ever
care
happening?
anymore, right? It's not
Yeah.
happening. I don't even know how they're gonna look. But then, I don't know. Dana just has his marketing. They just get me,
Yeah.
and I was so hyped going into that fight, and then his performance, like
His performance surprised
truly,
me.
when he's in there, you truly believe that no one will ever be able to beat him, and no one in the past, anybody that has ever fought can defeat this man.
He was always a monster.
Yeah,
And now that he's like, has like a more clear mind,
yeah.
and he's like just gone all like Jesus Christ superstar on everybody
He's
now.
figured
which-
it out.
right?
Like,
Like he's,
Yeah.
he's
he
figured it out.
is so calm in there.
Dude, and just like you said, like just watching that fight, you're just like, this guy's a robot. Everything's perfect.
Yep.
He's the GOAT.
Yes.
I'm just happy we get to see him fight again, and looks
Yeah.
it looks like we're gonna get to see a couple more next year. So I'm
Yeah.
super hyped.
There was that time where I honestly thought that this guy was gonna piss it all away,
Yeah, I lost hope.
right?
Like
and I'm like, we're never
Yeah.
gonna see this
I
guy
didn't
again.
think
It
he
was
was
so
coming back.
close. It was
Yeah.
so close.
So close to happening, and I was really bummed out because I thought this guy was awesome. Like I knew it, and he comes back and he's just like flawless.
Yep.
I didn't see anything wrong with him in that fight.
No.
No,
You could just see that like what raw talent he has, and I thought with age like he was gonna look much worse than he did, and it didn't look like he didn't lose a beat.
No, man, he just picked up right where he left off.
Yeah. How about you?
Okay. Professional wrestling is a sport.
I knew it.
Okay.
I was gonna call it out.
Contrary to what people are gonna say out there, it's a goddamn sport. I don't give a shit what you gotta say. If you're gonna tell me equestrian's a sport, pro wrestling's a sport,
No, it is because come on, truth be told, it's just entertainment.
right? It's a
Right.
sport, and my moment was Cody finally finishing the story at WrestleMania. That was significant, right? Even though Bloodline right now is the biggest thing ever to happen in wrestling,
Yep.
and I'm going back to like even Austin versus McMahon, this is bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole Cody thing, there was just so many layers to it, and just the
And
backstory
years and
behind
years.
it all,
Yeah.
and like him leaving and then coming back, and then the whole thing with like, finishing your dad's story and then like your story. It was
Yeah.
perfect. And it almost didn't happen because Dwayne decided that he wanted to come back and force himself into
It.
into that main event.
That was funny.
And then we had that whole, remember with Daniel Bryan?
But look, they pulled it
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
because I get why Dwayne came back. Like obviously you buy the company, like you buy the overlaying, whatever, you have
Yeah.
a part in it. So, he like I thought they did it well.
Yeah, I'm glad that it worked out the way it did, because the way that they had to pivot,
Yeah.
Ray created this whole
It made it even better.
Made it even better
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Because we got probably the best version of The Rock ever.
Ever. Yeah. I would agree with
Out
that.
of this entire
Yeah.
thing. Because like heel Rock was always fun,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
He was always the best
To
version
me,
of The
yeah,
Rock.
he was the best version of The Rock.
But this heel version of Rock was outstanding. It was
They
better
hit
than
a home run.
Corporation
They hit a
Rock.
home run.
It was
Yeah.
better than Hollywood Rock. It was like when he brought back the $500 shirt, right? And he had the Brahma Bull belt that he kept bringing out, and just the way that he was beating the shit out of Cody every week and just leaving him like in a pool of blood. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is the Rock that we all need.
But that's why I truly believe, like, for all the people that hate Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and anyone, whatever you want to call him, for anyone that hates him, I truly, truly believe he wants to make, like, whenever he comes, he wants to make the show the biggest it can possibly be.
Yeah.
And he truly thought that him versus Roman would be that. And then the minute he got humbled and that's not what the
Yeah.
people wanted,
Yeah.
he right away he pivoted with the
I'll give him
WWE.
credit for that because
Right?
I
it
agree.
might not have
yeah.
been his idea,
I agree.
but he pivoted
Yeah.
and he was perfect.
Yeah.
Rock versus Roman is the big money match, which we're gonna get.
We're
at
gonna get now.
Mania
Yeah.
probably, right? But it's also like all this time was invested in this Cody story.
It's timing. It's all about timing.
Finishing
yeah.
the story, people
yeah.
were so invested
Yeah.
into it. They wanted to see it happen, and then in a span of like 2 weeks, it was all over.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
people were like, "What the hell just happened?"
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want this,
Yeah.
right? It was just like I was saying, it was Daniel Bryan all over again.
Yeah.
Right? When Batista, look, no fault of Batista. I love Batista. But when like the whole Daniel Bryan thing happened, that wasn't his fault.
It wasn't.
Right?
Yeah.
And the poor guy was just caught in the crossfire.
yeah.
But then like, Evolution came back and that was cool,
Yeah.
whatever, right? But I'm glad that they pivoted. They did what they had to do at WrestleMania. Cody finished the story. He got the title. Right?
Mhm.
And at main event, like, did you guys watch Saturday night's main event?
I didn't.
Last week? He brought back the winged title, like the old 80s championship belt,
Yeah.
which was really cool. I don't know where they're going with this, with him in regards to like him and WrestleMania. I'm thinking it's probably gonna be him and Punk,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because
Yeah.
Punk needs to finish that story too. Like he finally needs to get his
Yeah.
his
Exactly. Yeah.
WrestleMania main event. So we'll see how that plays out because Raw's moving to Netflix, which is gonna be people you gotta
When
watch.
is
Raw
that officially for 20?
January 6th.
Okay, and they changed the name or logo or something.
Well, they redesigned the logo.
They
It's
redesigned
still
it right for
called Raw.
Netflix. Yeah.
But the way that they've set this up, this is gonna be bigger than maybe some of the pay-per-views that they've done.
Oh, for sure, for
Right?
sure.
Because now
Yeah.
you've got
You're going into millions of households now. Just
Yeah.
automatically, people
Yeah,
have
especially
Netflix.
your first show has
Yeah.
to be like.
they've
it.
got Tribal Warfare. They got Roman versus Solo,
Mm-hmm.
right? For the
Wow.
Fallout.
Oh, there's
right?
gonna be some
That's-
surprises for sure.
The main event is Punk versus Rollins.
Oh yeah, the
That
Rock
would've
can
been
come. The Rock can come there.
I'm telling you.
100% is showing up.
Yeah,
to-
there's gonna be
Yeah.
some surprise. I'm
Bloodline.
telling you,
Yeah.
like this is huge
Yeah.
for the company.
Because this bloodline story, man, like there's so many twists and turns that they're doing with it, and I just love it. I hope it's still running by the time Elimination Chambers comes up because it's happening here
Yeah,
Yeah,
March
yeah.
1st, right?
March 1st at Skydome.
Oh, big one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big one.
Rogers Center for those of you
Oh, sorry,
who
Rogers.
weren't around
Center.
for Skydome.
Yeah. Rogers Center. It's a stadium. Why is it called Center?
I don't know.
I've always hated that. Like, if you really want to name it after Rogers, fine. I got no problem. Call it Rogers Field
Yeah,
or Rogers
fair.
Stadium. Right? Rogers Dome, Rogers Skydome. All these names are way better. than
Skydome was
Rogers.
good. I love
Skydome was.
Skydome.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was perfect.
Skydome was great.
Yeah.
Sports, man. What a year. It's honestly, I don't think anything really went my way in sports to have a huge sports moment. The NBA hasn't really kept my interest. The NHL, I'm actually excited about this year. But the Leafs usual disappointment, the playoffs, just some of the bigger things. that I
Jake
can
Paul,
go
Mike
through.
Tyson wasn't a big deal for you.
Oh, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. I'm so glad I spent only 10 seconds watching that. Like, I hate that gimmicky stuff.
That shit was sad to watch.
You're getting 20, 40 million dollars like to put on basically a fake fight. Like, that's what it is. Just be honest. People want to lie to themselves. That's great. No problem. I didn't watch it. I wasn't going to watch it. I'm not watching any of Jake Paul's gimmicks. Like, you want to fight a boxer? Fight a boxer. Period. Not a 60-year-old,
You're
right?
not gonna watch Logan Paul versus McGregor.
No.
Just-
I can't watch this
If
garbage,
that ever
man.
happened.
This is all for the money. This is just free money. People want to throw money at them.
Yeah, I'm
No
telling you right
problem.
now,
like these gimmicks.
If
Imagine
McGregor
somebody
fights
doing that in
any
sports.
of them, you are watching it. I guarantee you are watching it.
Who?
If McGregor fights, it doesn't matter who he fights, you are watching it.
Didn't McGregor
No, it
tweet
depends.
that,
Now
he agreed to it or whatever?
Yeah,
That's
but
what he said.
It's
but
always back and forth, and we never know what's gonna really
unless
happen.
it's real, I'm not watching it. And depending on how that is leading up, like we'll see. We'll see when we cross that bridge. But I'm not still watching any gimmicks that are just fake.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, you're watching it.
but it
I
was
know
a
you're
tough
watching.
sports year. I'm honestly the best sports moment was like for a guy who's barely watched any wrestling for the last 10 years. I'm agree with you. I think that was like I think that's bloodline story, like that Cody moment at WrestleMania. That was like the best fun I had this
Full
year
di-
in
like,
sports.
But I was torn between that and another one. But I had to lean Cody because I was thinking Otani too, right? Otani 50 and 50,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Like, 'cause
Yeah, that's huge.
That was big. And the guy ends up winning the
and
World
winning
Series.
the
too.
World Series.
Yeah.
That was huge.
So he had the single greatest season ever in baseball.
Yeah, I wanted I was cheering for him, and I was cheering for the Dodgers just because, in the playoffs I wanted to see them steamroll everybody just with that talent. I just wasn't invested enough. Like I just, it didn't bring out that raw emotion like, something like, WrestleMania did, or if let's say Buffalo goes to the Super Bowl in 2025, right? That'd be huge. Right? That'd get me that'd be a huge moment.
Yeah. But I think with Ohtani doing what he did, I think that made me care a bit more.
yeah.
Well, for
Right?
sure.
No,
I
that's the
cared
thing.
about
You
baseball
wanted to see the
a lot
greatest
more this
season,
year.
the greatest player ever, having the greatest season ever, winning it all, all in the same year,
In his first time in the playoffs.
Yeah, first time in the playoffs. He just got to
That's
that
what
team. with that
700 million
contract,
gets you.
Yeah.
right? No, but that's the thing. He just signed that deal. All the pressure of the world is on him. It's just.
Yeah.
And he's a dual player, and this is his recovery season.
I'm sure I'm
Right?
missing. I'm
So-
sure I'm missing some stuff, but it really felt like just an off year in sports in general. Just I think a lot of the entertainment aspect has been sucked out of a lot of these leagues, with analytics and just
It's the
way
regular
that-
seasons. I feel like everyone's has to find a way, and they never will, but they need to shorten it and make it more important.
Yeah.
Because NBA is too long, NHL is too long, NFL is perfect. It's just
Yeah. We'll do a sports roundtable in the new year.
we definitely we gotta do a
because there's a lot of stuff happening.
we gotta do a
that's-
review.
that requires some
Giannis
discussion.
NBA Cup champion.
Darvin Ham back-to-back
You know?
NBA Cup champ. Yeah,
Yeah.
buddy, the goat. Of
It
the
somewhat
NBA
worked.
Cup.
I gotta give him credit. That somewhat worked, right? That tournament has some legitimacy now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Alright.
LeBron winning it first time, Giannis winning it
Yeah.
this time.
But that's the annoying
As
part,
long
right?
as,
Like you guys are gonna get me back into this now. Let's save it. Let's save it for 2025. We'll go down that road. It's just, I'm tired of just all these guys nowadays just not playing.
Yeah,
Right?
2024.
Just, hey, I hit my head. I'm out for 5 games. Like, just stop it.
Yeah, 2024. You're in the rear view. We don't care. It's over. I'm already checked out. I'm into 2025 already.
Yeah.
And before we take off, we just want to thank everybody. We finally got to 100 subscribers.
Yeah,
This
man.
year.
A big shout out. 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we had promised you guys, once we hit 100, we're going to do a little something for you guys.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a little contest, and what's up for grabs is a $100 Amazon gift card, right? And it's pretty simple. What you guys need to do is just leave a comment on this video with who you agreed with their takes on 2024. Give us your take on one of the 3 categories that we talked about,
Yeah.
right? And we're gonna do the draw for the winner on Super Bowl Sunday.
Love it.
Yeah, so we'll do that on probably do it on Instagram, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
it
we'll
on
do
Insta.
that on Instagram on Super Bowl Sunday. So it gives you guys some time to check out the videos. It's the holidays, everyone's busy. We get
Yeah.
it. No one's really got time to watch this kind of stuff, which is fine, right? So we'll do it on Super Bowl Sunday. So remember, leave a comment, who you agreed with, give us one of your takes on one of the categories. We'll do the draw on Sunday, and if you're one of the lucky winners, $100 Amazon gift card coming your way, so you can buy something that is completely unnecessary and you don't need it, and it's gonna sit in the box and it's gonna be there.
That's perfect.
that's what Amazon is, man.
That's
Yeah.
what Amazon is. It's true.
Yeah. Friggin' Bezos. This guy created a monster. It was great. Yeah. All right. 2024 is a wrap. Another great year. Belligerent Brown Boys. Another year down. Another year upcoming.
Yeah, we'll be bringing you more content hopefully next year.
Yeah. We got some stuff coming up for you guys next year. So again, thank you so much for being here with us, taking time to watch, listen, wherever you are. We appreciate it. 100 subscribers. Thank you so much. Right. The next move is let's get to 200 for
Yeah.
2025.
No, let's aim
2,000,
higher, guys. Yeah,
5,000,
let's
10,000.
do it.
Screw it. Let's just get to 1 million. You know what? Let's take down Mr. Beast next year.
Yeah, he's our next target.
Yeah, Mr. Beast, we're coming after you, buddy. It's a wrap. And again, thank you so much, guys. Have a happy Christmas. Have a Merry Christmas.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays. Happy New Year. And we'll see you guys in 2025.
Peace out.
Peace out.